I'm standing with Uncle Shannon because I don't like when black men get taken down. I got to stand by him. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper, but that's my brother. Uncle Shannon Sharpe is my brother. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe until the facts prove otherwise. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe until the facts prove otherwise.
What's going on, gang? Red Channels here, back at you with another one. And today, we will be talking about a little bit of a different topic. Mr. Shannon Sharpe and some of the allegations against him. Now, before we dive right into it, please give this video a like, share it, subscribe if you haven't already. Go down in the description section and sub to me on Patreon. Leave a comment. Maybe it's a hate comment, maybe it's a love comment. Just leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But today we will be talking about Mr. Shannon Sharpe and what controversy he's been embroiled in. So without further ado, let's dive right in. From USA Today, what is Shannon Sharpe accused of, and why is the former Super Bowl champion off ESPN? Popular sports anchor, podcaster, and former Super Bowl champion Shannon Sharpe is taking a leave from his main job at ESPN amid SA allegations made by a former girlfriend. Here's what Shannon Sharpe said about the allegations against him. Shannon Sharpe confirmed his ESPN leave of absence through a post on the social media platform X. In his statement, Sharpe said the leave was only temporary. Quote, my statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties, end quote. Read Sharpe's post on X. Quote, I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, friends, fans, and colleagues, end quote. Sharpe shared in his statement that he plans on returning to ESPN in time for the NFL's first preseason game on July 31st. Now, what was Shannon Sharpe accused of? Shannon Sharpe is facing a $50 million civil lawsuit claiming SA and battery. The woman, who used the alias Jane Doe, in a lawsuit filed on Sunday, April 20th, in Clark County, Nevada, alleged that Shannon Sharpe engaged in intentional infliction of emotional distress and that he assaulted her twice, once in October of 2024 and again in January of 2025. The woman says Sharpe became violent over the course of the relationship, threatened to kill her during one incident, and recorded their sexual encounters without her consent. Quote, Sharpe flew into fits of anger when plaintiff noted his infidelity to their relationship or called him out about his extraneous activities, end quote, the lawsuit said. Quote, what had once been manipulation, control, and intimidation now became something far more dangerous and sinister. Sharpe even figured out how to get into Doe's apartment complex without her permission, end quote. And hey, I got to point this out right now. What the media so far has neglected to tell us is that Shannon Sharpe's former girlfriend, acquaintance, female friend, whatever you want to call it here, lover, entanglement, etc., is an OF girl. She posts pictures of her body online for money. That is a very important. I feel like that's highly relevant to this case right now. And I didn't see that mentioned in the top articles regarding what's going on with Shannon Sharpe. That's kind of a big thing to leave out. This woman sells pictures of her body online for money. That's worth noting. She isn't some classy woman of high moral standing, some victim here. Like, no, she is actively doing the wrong thing with her life, and she's asking for $50 million in a civil lawsuit from Shannon Sharpe. Civil is different than actual taking him to court and sending him to prison. You know, this is just damages stuff. This is a lower standard of proof than you would expect in an ordinary trial. She's clearly after his money. But, as I see some people point out, I've got to agree. This is what some women have decided to do. This couple, Shannon Sharpe and this Jane Doe, they weren't married. So, she couldn't take him to court for the regular reasons and say, hey, we were in a partnership, you owe me XYZ. Now she's taking him to civil court for damages. And the courts are apparently still just as stacked against men as they would otherwise be if they had actually been married. This is a real problem that needs to be acknowledged, that there are these fortune hunters, these parasites among the female population, especially of the United States, who want to take down rich, wealthy, successful men by making these sorts of false allegations. They are an affront not only to our criminal justice system and the rule of law, but to other women who actually have been seriously harmed by men. They are tarnishing their claims. They're lowering the credibility of women on the whole by doing stuff like this, by just greedily, selfishly trying to siphon wealth from rich, successful men like Shannon Sharpe.
Dr. Umar says that he will stand by Shannon Sharpe if he leaves those snow bunnies alone. What do you guys think?
But as usual, I have to dial up the controversy on this video, and I gotta ask myself, what does Dr. Umar think about this situation? How is he feeling about all this?
The unspeakable. I'm getting text messages telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the unspeakable. I'm going to stand with my Uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with my Uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with Uncle Shay Shay on one condition. Uncle Shay Shay. No more snow bunnies after this scandal. If you cannot promise me that you will never seek the company of another snow bunny, I cannot stand with you. Uncle Shay Shay. Uncle Shay Shay. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe on this one. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe on this one. But Uncle Shay Shay, no more bunnies after this. Can somebody confirm if he's being accused by snow bunnies or Afro queens? Is this a rice bunny situation? Is this a snow bunny situation? Is this a sand bunny situation? Is this a salsa bunny situation? Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to stand with you, my brother. Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to stand with you, my brother, on one condition. I'm getting text messages from all over the African universe telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the unspeakable. I'm getting text messages telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the... I'm going to stand with my Uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with my Uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with Uncle Shay Shay on one condition. Uncle Shay Shay. No more snow bunnies after this scandal.
Unfortunately for Dr. Umar and the African universe, I have a feeling that's probably a non-starter on Shannon Sharpe's part. I do not believe he will quit these snow bunnies, even after this lawsuit is over. Also, I really don't like this Studio Ghibli AI animation stuff that's suddenly all over the place. I mean, it's kind of funny how annoying it is and how it's just suddenly ubiquitous, but oh my, I can't even believe that Dr. Umar, too, is getting in on this stupid animation stuff. I mean, look at this crap. But anyway, journeying further into the African universe, let's see what our Afro queens have to say about the Shannon Sharpe situation with this snow bunny.
So Shannon Sharpe is an example of playing in the snow and getting frostbite. Somebody call Dr. Umar. Get him on the line right now. Because this is literally what it is. Playing in the snow and getting frostbite. So y'all remember when he just recently did this interview and he was like, with Funny Marco. And Funny Marco said, oh, you look like Miss Netta. And he was like, oh, but that don't stop them young ones from opening up. Yeah. It ain't stopping them from opening it up, setting you up, and now you about to open up that wallet. Because that lady about to drag you through the mud. Whether or not these allegations are true or not, we don't know. But she did just release a snippet today. And you said you was going to choke the shit out of her when you seen her. So that doesn't sound like to me that you guys were in the middle of having sex. But again, I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. But y'all gonna learn to stop playing with these white women.
In the epic words of Dr. Umar, Shannon Sharpe got snow bunny. And yes, I can laugh at it because at the end of the day, Shannon Sharpe know he too damn old to be sitting here messing with that little young white girl. If she was a little bit older, I'd just say even like mid to late 20s, fine. Have your fucking field day. But with that girl being that young, let me tell you something. Being an old folks baby, growing up around white people, there's two things that I always take with me as far as lessons go. And first of all, my dad always taught us protect ourselves and how to handle ourselves in white communities, being in sundown towns, so we can get back home safely. And the second one is if you see a sucker licking, okay? And these are words out my father's mouth. So let me tell you something. So with that being said, Shannon Sharpe got licked, got sucked. So he talking about Tony Busby trying to set him up. You are a successful black man in America. They're always coming for you. Your head always got to be on a swivel. That's just what the game is. So if nobody ever taught you that, let me be the one to sit here and pass the message along. You're always being gone for. And now you done came up, you was getting ready to sign a big major deal. So of course they coming for you. Then he has to take accountability because black men love to sit here and tell women that they need to take accountability. We ain't making it about us right now. Let me keep the ball. Let me not move the goalpost. Shannon need to take accountability because at the end of the day, you gave them people the ammunition to come for you. You gave them the motherfucking bullets. You went into that situation blindly thinking that you was going to have a good old time at a water park, whatever the case may be. Okay. You had your fun, but did you protect yourself as a man? Dealing with white people always got to come with the mindset of dealing with a sundown town because you never know what the fuck you gonna get dealing with them. So if you just being black in America, you have to have that mindset every time you leave your house because the first goal is to make it back home safely. Second, you got money, you got things to lose. And then third, you have daughters she's younger than your daughters. And I try not to get into those conversations and those spaces about, the older man, young woman. Because me personally, having both my parents, being a daddy's girl, I've never want to date any men too much older than me. I might go 3 years up, 3 years down, maybe five max. But to each his own. Because I mind my business, okay? But with this Shannon situation, baby, I'm going to sit it out. Well, technically I ain't sitting it out because I'm telling you my 2 cents. But accountability needs to be taken because Shannon did not do his due diligence. First of all, to protect himself as a black man. And that's just all I'm going to say about it. And if you got something else you want to add to it, chime down in the comments because, hey, I love a good debate. So let's do it.
Well, it would seem that the Afro Queens have spoken and that Shannon Sharpe has brought this situation upon himself. But to be honest, I'm really curious what my own following thinks of this. Please do leave a comment with your thoughts. Are the Afro Queens right that Shannon Sharpe is more or less getting what he deserves for having played in the snow? Or does this signal something more serious and troubling for all men in America? Does this case have broader implications Frankly, I lean toward the latter conclusion. I would say that race is actually playing a relatively minimal role in this ordeal, and that this is more about finances. And this will, if this lady is successful in extorting this much money from Shannon Sharpe, that it will have broader implications for men in America generally. It will set a dangerous legal precedent, perhaps. But that's just me. I would love to hear your comments and thoughts. Please give this video a like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm curious to hear what you think of this case. And Red Channels will catch you in the next one.